And we are live. Hello, everybody. We are actually doing something that's never been done before on the Niche Lady Monday show, and that is live with an international guest. Well, they're not really international guests. They're in Paris, France right now. Some of you know them. You've seen them in my videos. It is Picker Road.
Bonjour.
There we go.
Bonjour, Danny.
Bonjour. Oh, are you guys picking up the French accent?
A little bit, mon petit.
Oh, we're going to have some fun on those first little shopping trips out.
The one thing I've learned at this point is €5. €5.
What does that mean?
The vendors automatically say €5 for everything, and then you have to try and talk them down.
That's like the $20 on the Vegas Strip. That's fantastic. Well, we've got a lot of people over here in the chat. Let me just take a peek who is over here and welcome everybody. Now, I didn't think this through clearly, but last week I changed my live time to 5 p.m. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. That's not going to work for the week that we, because what time is it right now?
It's 10 p.m. here.
That would have been in the wee hours of the morning. So this week only, I'm at 1 p.m. Next week, this show will be at 5 p.m. Pacific time after my 3 p.m. Whatnot sale. So just because I am scrambling like a crazy mad woman, trying to get everything ready for the Whatnot when I do this at 1 o'clock. But it all works out. It all works out. They're asking, did you pick up any postcards of Paris?
Oh, did we?
Did we ever? We got some of the most incredible vintage postcards you've ever seen. Really, really beautiful.
And then, did you go to the Paris Flea with flashlights?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Gary went with his black light, and we ended up with a really nice, can you get it up close to the camera?
Sure.
Glowy glass ring.
Oh.
Unfortunately, I lost my little black light, travel light, and so we can't light it up for you, but it glows quite vibrantly.
You need like 30 of them, like me.
All
and
right.
then lose them. Yeah, I'm just catching up on the chat over here. We were running a little bit late because Danny's speakers did not want to play today. So had a little technical issues getting going. But here we are. Oh, Melissa, you speak French, don't you? She says, bonjour, Rue Picker.
Bonjour for you, bonsoir for us.
I don't know why.
Good day, good evening.
Oh, okay. Now I got it. I remember Jordan took
It's
like
10
2
o'clock
years.
at night here. The sun actually just set a few minutes ago.
Right, it's been staying light really late.
Oh, really?
We're at a much higher, latitude up here. So it stays, it's beautiful. The sunset at like 9 o'clock. The other day we sat at the base of the Eiffel Tower and we waited for them to do the official lighting. Here, I can show you. This is, they do this every single night at the first top of the hour at sundown. They will light the Eiffel Tower and it looks like that.
Oh.
And that'll run for about 5 minutes. And then you have to wait until the top of the next hour for that.
Oh, that is so cool. So cool. Getting lots of hellos in the chat.
Hello,
everyone.
MB says, is that your haul on the table?
Oh, it's just part of it.
Sampling. Why don't you give everybody a look at the room? We've got the most incredible Airbnb. We just lucked out. It's kind of situated between the Eiffel Tower and the Arc de Triomphe and the Champs-Élysées. So it's really nice for Ubering and things. And it's William, you talk about the building.
So this is a 1915 original Paris structure. It survived both the wars, and there's a plaque on the outside. This is actually the building that Edith Piaf lived in the last 10 years of her life. So I believe it's considered a historic landmark here in Paris.
Yes,
That is
really
so
interesting. You can
cool.
just kind of sweep everything.
Yep. Isn't that great?
Wow. So tell us, before we look at the goodies on the table, I think I can speak for pretty much everybody in the chat. What is it like in comparison to picking here? What is picking like in Paris?
All right, well, picking in Paris, we didn't have as much of a problem with the language barrier because they know enough English, because there's enough English tourists, or American tourists, I should say. So that went well. Their prices were higher, I think, than America on things. They very seldom go really low on prices. And it was just fantastic. You have to dig for the treasures. You really do. They put out boxes. You have to dig through those. Other merchants have everything spread out, and everybody was pretty much everybody was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a lot of fun. The differences, I don't know. There was more similarities than differences. It's the same idea. They just just want to deal with their items. There's a lot more older items. So you do absolutely find that. You see very little new items from like IKEA,
Right.
or like we would say Ross, or their example of Ross.
And the flea markets, are really a central hub for it. In a town like this, you couldn't possibly garage sale the way that we garage sale in Las Vegas, where you drive from house to house. There's no place to park. There's no place to hop out and hop in. And you would have to go up 5 flights of stairs or a tiny little elevator that's 100 years old. So they get these booths at these flea markets, and you have permanent vendors who have more structures. And then you have these people who just have tables. So this is an example of one of the largest flea markets in Paris. You can see it's just teeming with people, and there's lines and lines of booths there. And it's really just so much fun to walk around, and there's cafes everywhere, and you're negotiating with people, and you're digging through boxes. It's just a blast.
It really is.
There are no thrift stores that we've been able to find. Everything happens at the flea markets.
Right.
Right. There might be some vintage stores, but that's primarily clothes, which we don't really deal in, not hard goods. So it's really these flea markets, and and they also have the farmers markets with fresh fruits and vegetables and fish and poultry, and you walk through that and everything just smells so delicious. And there's bakeries and croissants everywhere. It's very different. And we have to Uber because Paris is so big. We have to Uber everywhere. I mean, some people use bikes, but we couldn't really pick and have bags full of merchandise on bikes or anything like that.
Although I did see somebody come by on a bicycle with a vacuum cleaner on the back of it just yesterday.
Get that on video.
If we did have a rental car, there would be no place to park, and the streets are very narrow, and everybody drives really fast.
Oh, yes.
When you're driving around the Arc de Triomphe, it's like the Wild West. There's no lanes.
There's no lanes. Everybody's in a big circle, and some of the drivers cut straight across. Oh, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Crazy town.
But
Wow.
It's really been an amazing time. We were here the last time 15 years ago, and it's very different.
Yeah.
It just feels very, very different, whether it's post-pandemic or what, but it is very different. And it's just amazing. It's just, we found you have to really dig for the treasures at these markets. There's a lot of high-end, as William said, stalls that have hundreds of years of antiques, but they're all very high priced and not suitable for flipping. If you are coming here just to decorate and to find things for yourself, but if you want to flip and be a picker, then you really have to go more to the open air markets, and you have to dig and negotiate and just kind of see through the dust a little bit.
Which is exactly what Laura Caldwell said to us a few
Yeah.
weeks ago when she was in the Good Stuff thrift store, and we were all chatting about this. We told her that we were coming. She was here about a year ago, and she said, "Go to the back. That's where the
Deals
the
are.
deals are, the booths with the flippers and you know, boxes and boxes of treasures." And that's exactly what we did. We went straight to the back and worked our way to the front, because when you get to the front, that's where all the vendors are with, you know, $20,000 antiques and French Louis XIV furniture and mid-century modern treasures that are thousands of dollars.
And
Now
there's
those
a lot of that.
and those were fun to look at too. Oh, they
Yeah,
were
we
so
went
much
through that.
fun. To
Well,
look at.
I always say, I always say it's really good to get your hands on and your eyes on that quality of things, because it really sets your sights a little higher when you're out looking in all the other places. If you don't
Absolutely.
know what quality looks like, then you don't know how to grab it when you find it at a good price. So
Do you want to talk about the?
Right,
So
this-
this was an interesting example of that.
Exactly that. This is, can you see it on there?
Let me bring it in closer. I'm going to bring it in closer so you can see.
and somebody has asked, are there any American pieces in the French antique shops and flea markets, and what's the pricing like?
I don't know that we saw too much American pieces.
Honestly, no.
Well,
You probably would have been able to identify some of the glass better, but not really. Most of it felt European. I don't know that we saw too many American pieces. That's French.
Yeah, no,
Baccarat is
no.
French.
No.
But for this piece, it's BIOT. It's a French blown glass, crackle glass with bubbles. And it's from the 1950s, 60s era. And as we were going in to one of the first markets, there was a stall that had really gorgeous, high-end, vintage, mid-century modern glass. And she had a piece maybe a quarter the size, half the size, for 50, 60 euro. And that was a good deal. And I had never seen this name before. So we go into the market, and about an hour later, William spots this on a table. And we actually got this for 5 euro, and it's double the size.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah, it's really quite beautiful. Very, very beautiful.
And it is glass, and I know you shop like me. You buy lots of breakables. So Karen Levitt would like to know, how will you get everything home?
How very carefully.
We actually planned it. We planned it when we packed, knowing that we had this apartment that we were renting at that had a full washer dryer unit. We only brought half the clothes that we would have to bring for our whole stay, so that we could do all our laundry here and have twice the space in our suitcases.
And we have big, hard suitcases, and we bought an extra carry-on for going home. And we did have to limit. I mean, I could have had tons and tons more.
Yeah.
But we did have to limit, thinking that exact thought, that we have to get this all home. But we're pretty good packers. We've been doing this for a long time. And
Welcome to Packer Road.
and if all else fails, then we'll just dump all of Gary's clothes and just bring it in his suit.
Poor Gary.
Well, I'll tell you something I found very interesting. We were talking a little bit about uranium glass, and there's actually a lot of it here. And I found quite a bit of it, but I spoke to some of the flea market vendors about it, and they didn't really know what it was. They had never heard the name uranium glass or Vaseline glass or glowy glass, and they weren't familiar with the concept of looking at it under a black light. When I showed it to them, they were quite surprised by it. And even so, that they didn't know what they had, the price that they had on it was quite high.
Yeah, very high.
It was preventing us from bringing it home, but we
Yes.
did find the ring, and we were able to get that.
Interesting. Maybe you started a new trend in France now.
Maybe.
Maybe.
What do they call a flea market in Paris?
I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, but most of them are listed as Puces. So Puces. I'm not quite sure, but the one that I was showing you the photo of is the Marché à Puces. And there we go. I saw somebody just wrote it on there. That's the big flea market right behind Montmartre, overlooking Paris. And that one was huge. I think they said it's 7 hectares of booths.
It's huge.
What's a hectare?
A lot of acres. A heck of a lot of acres.
Wow. Yeah, they're talking.
There are several of them that take place, but they're not all always open.
Right. So sometimes some of them are closed on Mondays and Tuesdays. Some of them are closed on Thursdays, Fridays. Some of them are only on the weekends. But we found the two best consistently in all of the reviews and stuff that we read. The two best ones to go to were the two that we went to. And the first one that we went to was so great, we actually went back to it and we found some more treasures the second time.
Right. Basically, we have 5 full shows to show everyone everything that's happened.
Plus 2 shows that we shot in Switzerland before that.
Yeah.
And we're not done yet.
Yeah, well, I think at this point we've hit all, because there aren't any big ones tomorrow or Wednesday. So I don't know if we're going to hit any more at this point. We're always open if we see them, but this is a lot to
pack
a lot to pack now.
Yeah, and estate sales is where my auntie goes to. She lives in southern France. You have to get away from Paris. Just like any place, you're going to pay more in New York City. You're going to pay more in Las Vegas. You're going to pay more in Chicago. You're going to pay more in those big touristy cities.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Although I was happy with some of the deals that we got. Like for instance, and this is what I was holding. We told Danny I was holding to share this with her. I'm excited to show this to her, get her reaction because she doesn't know about this. I got this for 1/10 of what it's selling for online. This is an original French Disney 2-sheet of 101 Dalmatians on one side.
No, it's Dalmatians.
And the Jungle Book on the other side.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that amazing?
That is so cool.
This was an ephemera dealer, and I was going through a gigantic portfolio with wood lining on the front and back, and I'm flipping through, and I'm finding nothing, and then I just see Walt. And I'm going, ooh, this is going to be good. And sure enough, and the price was, I had to negotiate with him for it, but when I saw what this was selling for online, this is a rare print. Now, it's not in mint condition, but in the condition that it's in, it should fetch a very good price.
Yeah,
Nice.
absolutely.
You know, Tiger's Time with Treasures, not too far away from you guys. He's been in Germany for the past month, had to tap out last weekend. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, if we had the chance, we would have loved to go out into the French countryside, to go to, Provence and to get out there and see, what there are, little antique stores and so forth. But we just didn't have the time on this trip, and we wanted to hit the Paris flea markets.
Now
they were recommended by Laura Caldwell.
We did kind of see the French countryside, but you're going to have to watch our videos to learn why we saw the French countryside.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait for those videos.
Yeah, let me tell you something. It wasn't all sweetness and light in Zurich.
It was interesting.
So Melissa says a hectare is 2.47 acres. So it's like 2.5 acres.
Thank you, Melissa.
So 7, so that means that it's about 15 acres worth of flea market there.
It was so big.
It was huge.
It was huge.
Block after block after block.
And we filmed it all. It is huge. It's so fun. It's just fun. I was junk drunk.
Mm-hmm.
I bet. You want to share like some of the goodies? Kind of show us some of your
Sure.
Here, let me bring the camera closer for you.
Yeah, we'll bring. I just fell in love with this beautiful mirror. Art Nouveau, style. Just a really, really pretty piece. I thought it was so beautiful. Can you see the dimension on that? Very, very happy with that. Some of the jewelry was amazing. This little cat box, he's very heavy. He's quite old. I got him from a very nice dealer. He's lined in velvet, and he's really sweet. I just loved him. Things like a beautiful Limoges cameo, very, very old. It's about 100 years old. And then newer pieces. This is a French designer. It's all signed on the back, kind of very modernist piece. I got this Baccarat atomizer, very beautiful, signed. You saw that. I love this mid-century dish.
I was eyeballing that.
Absolutely fell in love with it.
And wait until you feel the texture of this in person.
Just
The
beautiful.
stone on it is incredible. Show the giraffe. I love the giraffe. We
Yeah.
bought it. We bought a
We
giraffe.
bought another giraffe,
Look at this guy.
mid-century wood giraffe. Look at his little head on top. He's
Look at
wonderful.
him.
He's wonderful.
What's
And
that bowl that I can kind of see the light shining through it, or is it orange inside?
This is amber glass
Oh, it is.
With-
Yeah.
with a metal scroll work and turquoise scarabs on
That
each
is.
side.
Mm. That
It's
is
very, very, very pretty. Oh,
And he's a hoot.
it happened even here.
Of course.
It happened even here. Hand me the mid-century vase.
Oh yeah, wait until
No,
you
the
see
other
it.
one, the tall one.
There we go. That one. Yeah.
Beautiful mid-century vase. It was covered in dirt.
Wow.
Nobody could see it. I got it back. I saw what it was. It's signed. I got it back here and washed it in the beautiful mint green and dark green colors.
Can you show us the bottom again?
Show us the bottom again. Yes. There we go.
I'm still researching. I'm having a hard time with the signature. A lot of the others I've got nailed already, but I had a hard time with this signature. And keep it that back. And oh, well, show them the cat. I
Oh,
love
yes.
my cat.
Lay meow.
Lay meow.
They're asking if you mind sharing prices paid.
We'll have to
I have
review
to
the video on
remember.
some
I have
of
to
them.
review it.
Yeah.
That was the one thing.
I'm sure you
Because,
say it all in your video, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
There you
Every detail was on film.
well, some of the negotiations we had to.
That is
Go
true.
back.
A couple of them would kind of signal. They'd wave at me like, for this part when it was negotiating time. But I think a lot of them were good about
A
giving
lot of them were
prices on
good.
camera.
Like I believe she was like €5.
I want to say, yeah.
€5. Again, she was filthy. She was covered with dirt. Nobody was paying any attention to her. I saw she was marked, and I just thought she was so beautiful. She's perfect. She doesn't have a chip on her. I brought her back here and cleaned her up, and
She's perfect.
she is. She's wonderful. Careful, put her down.
And one of my goals for this trip, I achieved at our first sale. I was so excited about it. Would you mind taking the camera for a
Sure.
second? I really
For everybody, real quick, Melissa's put the link to the Picker Road channel over in the chat. So
Thank
make
you,
sure
Melissa.
you go and subscribe and be watching their videos. They do pretty much the format I do, where they give a recap at the end. So you watch them buy it, and then you can see after they've done their research, the values and all that. So I am very much looking forward to those videos coming out.
You can hear the Paris police coming by back there. Okay, so this was one of my goals for this trip. I really, really wanted to come home with a vintage film camera that I could restore and actually take photographs with. And sure enough, at our first sale, he wanted €10 for this. I did a little negotiating because they say negotiate every time, and I ended up getting this for €8. This is a original Kodak Brownie, but it is actually a made in France edition.
Oh, wow.
And it is super clean. I just have to do some minor touch-ups to it, but otherwise it is ready to start taking photographs.
And €1 is about $1.08.
Correct.
Right. It fluctuates back and forth.
And it's in its original leather case, which I'm going to touch up as well. Can't wait. Very excited about that.
That is awesome. Susan says her mother had the exact same camera.
I love it. I love it. And what I did make sure before I bought it is that they actually still make the film for it. So you can get the...
You can have like the canvases. We got some small pieces of art.
Oh, poppies are
Beautiful.
so in. I've been talking a lot about poppies lately. Poppies are just really highly collectible right now. Oh, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil.
Yeah. And a beautiful handmade French lace round tablecloth.
Oh.
Really.
I see how strategic your picking has been. There's several things there that don't need a whole lot of protection. And then with the tablecloth, you can wrap, the glass in and
Exactly.
And then, of course, the postcards.
Yeah, I should bring those.
Let me go grab those. I'm going to put you back on the tripod for a second here.
and I have a joke for you guys.
Oh, yes.
Everybody's giving me permission to tell my joke.
Let's
hand
hear
me
it.
my postcards.
Huh?
Hand me my postcards.
Why did Gary's ready? Gary's ready for a joke. Let's see
Let's
it.
hear
Why did the chicken cross the road?
Why?
Because
Right now, I would say the chicken crossed the road here in Paris to escape the cafes because they're all serving chicken. So one of the things that we learned about postcards here in France is that they actually put the stamps on the front of them, which I thought was fascinating. So one of these vendors that we got this incredible lot of just adorable vintage postcards from, and they all have their original stamp marks on the front. How many did you end up getting of these? 100 or
About
more?
100.
Yeah,
They're
100 of these.
They're so unusual.
And they've got a little bit of vintage writing on the back, but they are just so beautiful and they're so much fun.
Look at this one.
soon to be available in the Picker Road Boutique
Oh, absolutely. And on Whatnot.
and whatnot.
We're going to do Treasures from Paris on Whatnot.
Nice.
We'll do 3 Whatnot shows.
Fantastic.
Look at this one. Show that one.
Yeah.
So Jackson wants to know, what is the value of the gold hand mirror?
The gold hand mirror.
I don't know. I haven't had a chance. I don't have my computer with me. So we've been trying to do stuff on our phones. William has his computer. I honestly don't know. I have to do a little more research on it. But it's everything's going to be for sale on Whatnot.
I might be able to help you with the answer to that question.
Here, I love these. Look at these. The kids playing music together, and the vintage colors on them are so great. The hand tinted style.
Yeah, what year are those from?
Honestly, I'm not sure, but judging by the back, I would guess what the 1920s, 30s.
No, they're earlier than that.
Earlier?
Probably 20s, some teens and 20s, and maybe some 30s. But those are really, really old.
Yeah. The postmark on this one says 1920. It says 1920.
1920, and some of the ones that I have, the clothing, it's got to be turn of the century.
Yeah, 1920 on all of these.
And those are a little newer than the other ones, but they're fantastic.
Yeah, they're so
They're
much
just
fun.
fantastic.
We saw these and
We went crazy. We didn't see anything like this lot at any other vendor, at any other flea market.
and we bought a few from him to begin with, and then we went back and you said how much for all of them?
And I just bought them all. So I just
Yeah.
wanted to bring them all back.
Looks like that mirror is about $100.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, that sounds probably about right. I think I paid €30.
Okay, perfect. So Ray wants to know, how did you learn about the place you're staying, and are you pleased with it?
about where we're staying. It was a straight up Airbnb search. We put in our exact parameters that there were 4 of us here. My brother is here as well.
Our older son David is with us, and he doesn't really do picking, but he doesn't mind going along for the trips. And he was great at the flea markets. He helped Gary carry a lot of things, and it was really fun. But we need obviously room for the 4 of us.
And location was important too. We had a specific area around the center of Paris that we were looking to stay in. And after, I think it took us about 2 hours worth of searching.
Only that day. We've been searching for weeks.
But I'm saying that specific day. This one popped up, and what was really nice about this one is it's a new property. It just recently went on the market as a rental. So
it's a very old building.
Yeah, 1915, but it was just acquired as a rental and remodeled for that purpose. So I think we're one of the first people to ever stay in this as well. And believe me, we're giving it a fantastic review.
And it was a good deal for Paris for 4 people, because we had to look for a good deal.
And everywhere you go in Paris, and even in this apartment, you can really feel the history everywhere.
Yeah.
And you walk from one room to another, and you can feel the parties that were taking place here back in the 1920s.
The elevator for this unit, we're on the 2nd floor. The elevator has a modern door on it, but every other part of it is 100 years old easily.
And it sounds like it.
It sounds like it
We
too.
say a little prayer every time we go up and down. But the whole entrance and everything is right out of central casting for a French building.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch Emily in Paris or any of those, it's right kind of out of that, and it's really we really lucked out, honestly. We walked in here, we kind of went, wow, how did we get this?
Wow.
How did we get this? But I think we just lucked out. Like Will said, because it's a newer property, they still kept it fairly reasonable, and for Paris. So, yeah.
And knowing it was centrally located, we didn't quite know exactly how centrally located until we exited the building, turned right, went up 2 blocks, and saw the Arc de Triomphe. Or like earlier today, I walked from here to the Eiffel Tower in 30 minutes. I was standing underneath the Eiffel Tower, literally underneath it, in 30 minutes time, and it was just amazing. This was the view from directly underneath the Eiffel Tower. So it's been fantastic.
Yeah, it's been an adventure, that's for sure.
That is so cool. So wait, I had another question here. Oh, did you buy any currently new postcards, and do they still put the postage stamps on the front?
No, for the new ones, it looks like they put them on the back now. And I bought a few, and I've actually already written them to send to some family and friends. I think I have a couple of unwritten ones. We're going to the Louvre on Wednesday, so I'm sure there'll be some more postcards purchased there.
That is so true, Julie. One Way Vintage. Definitely. I do this all the time, and a lot of people don't know you can do this. If your vacation coincides with your business, you can write it off. Absolutely. Yes. Oui.
Oh, yes.
C'est bon.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Chat again. Let's see.
Absolutely. Because we have been working.
Oh yeah.
It's work getting around Paris picking.
And as you'll see in our videos from Switzerland, the whole reason for us coming to Europe is that the first week that we were here, we were in Switzerland working on one of the TV shows that we produce, where we were examining the animal situation in Switzerland. It's all about animal welfare and adoptions and everything. So we were traveling all over both the German and French parts of Switzerland. On a week ago yesterday, I was on top of the Matterhorn.
Not on top.
Well,
in a helicopter.
Okay, I was in a helicopter that dropped me off on top of the mountain next to the Matterhorn at 12,000 feet, filming a golden retriever demonstrating what it's like to dig somebody out of the snow after an avalanche.
Wow.
That was something.
And
They use
we've
golden
got
retrievers for
filmed
that.
that too.
No more
And
Saint
then-
Bernards used for that?
That we did talk to the Saint Bernards for that one. It was a golden retriever. They use all kind of dogs now for rescue. They were saying that Saint Bernards aren't quite good for that anymore because they're big and they're lazy.
Well, they drank too much of that brandy, you know, in their little.
Exactly.
So Karen says, excited for your whatnot sale. So will this be? I don't know what the next date of your next. When are you planning your next whatnot sale?
Monday.
Well, but not these, we won't have time to get these ready. Monday is gonna be our regular whatnot sale after you. And we're gonna be putting out that quilt that everybody wanted.
Oh yes.
We've got that quilt and a lot of other pieces. And then, because what we want to do is we want to actually air the shows so you can see the items that they were picked. And then the following Monday, we'll start with the Paris shows.
That is very smart.
It's going to happen right away.
And this is a really good lesson to all of you. This is marketing. And this is what I teach you guys. If you're selling stuff and you have social media, you don't want to sell the stuff someplace where you haven't built up the excitement for it first. So utilize your social media to build excitements. So when you do the show, you maximize the amount of people that come there to buy the stuff. I just realized that my microphone was like really nowhere near me. Is that better?
Sound good over here?
Sounds good.
It's a good microphone, so hopefully it was working good.
Exactly. So William will be editing and putting out these shows immediately. So it's gonna the first show from Switzerland will start on Sunday. Sunday and Tuesday is Switzerland, and then Thursday and the following Sunday we'll start Paris, and then right after that on Monday, not this Monday, a week from this next coming Monday, will be the first Treasures from Paris show. And we're putting it out there right away. We want everybody to see it right away. And so he's editing.
Yeah. So Ray, they do their whatnot sales right after my Monday whatnot sale. And I will just send you guys over there. Like, you don't even have to go dig for it. We do what it's called a raid. And I send my audience right straight over to Picker Road. We actually have a couple of Picker Road items that will be in my today's whatnot sale that were requested.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then I see Ray's question for the shows, for the episodes on YouTube. We currently air on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 6 p.m. Pacific time is when we drop our episodes.
And just subscribe, and if you ring the little bell, then you'll get a notification every time our videos drop, and won't miss anything.
And I saw that comment there, but I didn't see who wrote it. But that really means a lot to us, because we say join the journey because we really want everyone to come with us. Yeah. We're going out and doing this, but we're bringing you along because we want you to be part of this. We absolutely love sharing our adventures with everyone, and the comments, the reception that everyone has given us in the short time that we've been on YouTube has been just tremendous, and we're so appreciative of everyone.
Absolutely.
I think that's one of my favorite things about your videos is that, yeah, you're buying stuff and you're, shopping, but you're also talking about the area. And I have learned so much about the history of things and the places you've gone and discovered new places to go eat, because you guys always find some cool thing to try there. So you guys definitely want to go check out the Picker Road channel if you haven't already, and follow along with the journey. Now, I don't know, little birdie told me that we might be planning a trip together soon.
Yay! Yay!
Stay tuned for that. This could be interesting, because I think we're going to try to whatnot from the road in an RV.
Can't wait.
We can't wait.
We're going to challenge the technology gods to their fullest extent.
We're going to do it. We're going to pull it off. It's going to be so much fun.
I think it's
Me
going to be
holding 3 different phones and a camera and laptop and satellite dishes.
And William's going to be editing from the road, guys.
Yep.
We're going to be posting Danny's daily videos from the road.
From the road. So you guys are really going to feel like you're right along with us.
It's going to be interesting.
We'll be getting right
What's
back to
interesting?
it as we get home because we're picking together on Saturday.
Yeah, we're picking with you in Vegas on Saturday.
Right. Oh, you guys are going to be so jet lagged.
Nah, we're coming back. It was when we got here. Ooh, the jet lag hit us hard. We were all up at like 3 a.m.
That's true. My realtor, he just got back from Germany, and I was asking, like, he literally took me out to see houses the next day after he got back. I said, "Aren't you jet lagged?" He goes, "No, actually, it's the opposite. It's like I was up at 4 o'clock this morning, ready to go." So I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, because when we come back, we're gonna gain
back
9 hours
9 hours
back.
of time. Yeah,
That is true.
So we'll be
That's gonna make
fine.
it a really long first day.
right.
And knowing Will, he's still going to stay up working.
Oh yeah,
He has to. We're gonna put out the first show edited on Sunday.
I got to start compressing all the files to make the videos happen. You know, as soon as I hit my other laptop, I'm gonna have them both running back to back.
He has his laptop and he brought hard drives with him. We've been offloading footage. I mean, this is the whole process. That's really important to us, that these videos are fun and exciting for you guys to see. And we want you to feel like you did Paris.
I probably will never make it to Paris because I am such a chicken about flying over the ocean. But
Oh, you'll be okay. We'll drug you and bring you along.
I'm thinking Vegas to Nova Scotia, Nova Scotia to Greenland, Greenland to Iceland, Iceland to Scotland, Scotland to England, and the Channel to Paris. You only have to be in the air for little tiny bits at a time.
that sounds palatable. Okay.
You'll do it somehow.
And then somehow I want to make it over to
We can skip home.
The trick is like we got to find that way to get all the stuff home so we're not limited to what we can buy.
That is the trick.
We kept looking at each other and saying, oh, what if we could only have a cargo pallet? The things that we would have gotten, there were some beautiful, huge pieces, chairs, like, you know, old Parisian cafe chairs that would be
in my mind.
Perfect in Vegas.
Yeah.
You know, there's dealers who do that. Maybe if we collabed with one, and I'm just saying, nothing is impossible.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I was like, do it, Danny. Yeah, I would love to visit some of this historical. I mean, America is a fairly new country. The European countries go back thousands of years.
Yes.
So it would just be fascinating. One of Jordan's favorite places is Ireland. She keeps telling me she's going to move to Ireland. I'm like, no, you're not. I'll never see you again.
We love Ireland because that's where our ancestors are from. So it was really important going there. So I think that there's a picking trip to Ireland coming up.
Ooh, oh, I can't wait for that.
That's going to be so fun. And Danny has to go too.
Absolutely.
You'll be fine. We'll talk you through it.
But yeah, what you're saying about the history, it's so true.
It's so
Every single street here, and the French embrace their history very, very well. Every single street here is named, and it's got plaques on it, and it's got the history. It's got the relevant information of why a street is named after a certain person. We're like a block away from Avenue de Woodrow Wilson, which was named for President Wilson when he came over to help negotiate the treaty at the end of World War I. So there's incredible, you know, factoids on every corner. It's like, I'm eating this place up. I'm loving every second of it. But then going back thousands of years, we passed Notre Dame the other day, and, you know, it had that horrible fire a couple of years ago. They are furiously rebuilding it to have it done in time for next summer's Olympics. They're going to have the Summer Olympics here next June, and they've got scaffolding and cranes and everything, and they are going to implement modern building technology on a cathedral that is 1,200 years old.
That's awesome. I'm so glad they're rebuilding.
Yeah.
And we just yesterday, on the way to a market, we passed the Bastille.
Yes. So the Bastille obviously isn't there anymore. They when they stormed it in the 1700s, they tore it down brick by brick, and they used those bricks to build some of their government buildings today, like the National Assembly building. But there is a large line in the ground that actually shows where the Bastille grounds were, and the neighborhood is called Bastille. So they really embrace every piece of their history, good and bad, and it's incredible.
And you can see as you go through the different areas, how old some of these homes and houses are. I mean, they're just so old. You can just see the age, and it's really, really different. Really different than the United States.
As Will said, the building we're staying in was built in 1915. You can only imagine what was here before this was built.
Right, because you go into other areas and you can see they're from the 18th century at least.
Yeah, Don says people in New York have been sending containers back for decades, so we could fill a container.
Oh, totally. Totally. I mean, you should have seen the one up by Montmartre. It was huge. It was so expansive, and there were so many large pieces, just, incredible furniture and giant art pieces that, we could have never tried to get into a suitcase.
But again, for being flippers, pickers, you really have to navigate it because the prices are high.
Right.
It's not a deal in every corner.
Yes.
But you have to really navigate it.
I bet some of the art is fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's just so much fun. It's just really fun.
So Christine asks, are you enjoying the food there? Anything that
The food, that's what I was just bringing up here. I was going to show you. So this is the French duck confit with potatoes. Oh, it was so good. And we've been having crepes, and we've been having croque monsieur and croque madame. We have had we've had the dessert crepes. We've had the Nutella and banana. We have had.
We went to talk about Poulain.
Poulain Bakery, which is down south of Notre Dame. We actually went there last time, and we came back this time
It's
because
one of the oldest bakeries in Paris.
we had such a fantastic impression of it last time. This is where the great Impressionist artists used to trade paintings
Monet
for bread.
would
So
go in there.
Monet gave them a painting for bread in the 1800s.
There was poor artists when they were young and they were hungry and they traded paintings for food.
And this place is on a tiny little curved street in the old part, one of the oldest parts of town. And you turn the block and you start walking towards it, and suddenly you start smelling something.
Oh my God.
Apple turnovers.
And
then
like nothing you've ever had.
And then you start smelling the chocolate croissants. And then you get into there and they've got shelves and shelves of incredible stuff. It's a little tiny place, but the shelves are filled because they keep bringing stuff out. And what I love that they do is that every single loaf that they make of bread has a little bit from the previous batch in it, and that goes back for 250 years to the 1700s.
And the back room.
The bread is all related to each other, and in the back room is a gigantic chandelier of bread. Obviously, it's not made of bread, but it's to look like bread. It's just an absolutely incredible place. You'll see it in the video. It's all in there.
We filmed everything, so you guys will see everything that we're talking about. The only thing you can't do is smell it. So maybe someday there'll be smell-o-vision.
You see that question there?
We have not. My brother and I were talking about that. Did we go to Jim Morrison's grave?
No.
So the cemetery, the very famous cemetery, if there's a chance on Wednesday, we might try and pop over there because it's not only Jim Morrison, but Oscar Wilde is buried there as well.
Oh, okay.
I would very much like to see that spot. A lot of famous people are in there. We passed yesterday. We passed the Invalids, which is where Napoleon is buried, and that was actually their military hospital. It's right opposite the Eiffel Tower. So, seeing so much history. There's so much. You could spend months here and not see everything.
We really made the focus of this trip the picking. We really wanted to get to these markets, and it takes a while to get everywhere and to get back and to get around. So many cobblestone streets. It's work to traverse Paris.
It's a
back and forth.
It's a very hilly city too. There's a lot of ups and downs. You're going up and then suddenly you're going down. So
And we're so used to picking with our big black truck, the Beast.
Yep.
We're so used to having that all of a sudden now we're just trying to carry everything and get everywhere. We've done the metro. We've gotten around by
Many Ubers.
Yes.
Went through like sardines.
which is great because you really get a chance to see Paris. Gary gets a chance to not have to drive and gets a chance to see everything.
But then there's no U-turns.
I know. So just wait till Saturday.
I'll make up for it on Saturday.
I was just going to say, I bet we're going to be doing several U-turns on Saturday. So, Kitty Whiskers, I absolutely agree that their vast historical knowledge is really educational and interesting. Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
I can't see any other questions. You see
I'm
questions?
looking here. They're dreaming about the food.
Oh,
In addition, there's a lot of walking here.
yes. So what's good is that you're burning the calories from all the food you're having.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you, Christine. Melissa will be posting links over in the chat. And for anybody else, if you've never signed up for Whatnot, there is a link that will get you $15 to come and spend and have some fun and dip your toes in the water of the Whatnot. It's super fun. Oh, you guys, guess what? All of my mail has been opened.
What?
Whoa.
That giant pile?
Yes.
Christmas came early.
Yes. Now I'm deciding what goes in the store, what goes on eBay, what goes on Whatnot. But yeah, it's all open.
Nice.
That's going to be so exciting.
And it's like I got the office. It's like ooh, like it's looking really good. And then ooh, I shopped again.
And I think something might be coming home for her, right? Maybe something.
Something might be coming.
Are there any turtles in Paris?
Oh, there are.
I'm not telling.
Oh goodness. You guys got any last questions for Picker Road before we sign off today? Yeah, Little White Quail. So I was supposed to do a Disney sale last night, and I've been talking a lot about self-care. And I got up and I was the caboose. I was the last one. So my canceling didn't affect any other sellers at the end, or I would have absolutely made it through. But I don't know if you can hear, I'm a little rough. The allergies are going a little cray-cray. So I decided I was like just not feeling up to it. And I asked Chelsea if she'd be okay if I bowed out. But I have a whole pile of Disney stuff that I absolutely need to do a Disney sale. So it'll be.
Well, there's some Disney stuff coming home from Paris too. So we'll
there we go. Yeah, we can. And I have a few Disney things in my Whatnot sale today as well.
Nice.
Good.
Let's see. Any other questions, you guys? Dun, dun, dun. There's so many plans for this year. And I can say, and my friendship that I have forged with Picker Road has absolutely been an amazing one. And I told everybody when I changed my time last week, I said, and you know what? If I had wanted to do this at 5 p.m., you guys would have been here. You just would have, like, because that's the friends you are. And so I thank you for that. But I didn't do that to you because I want to be a friend back.
We would have, but we thank you because we're going to Disneyland Paris tomorrow and we have to be up at like 6 a.m. for that.
That is so exciting. Man, that's so little story. Will, you probably know this. The Dumbo ride at the California Disneyland, when they completely redid Fantasyland, they did not have the Dumbo ride ready. And so they took the one that was slated for Disney Paris to be in the California Disney. So it is the French Dumbo ride that still exists to this day at Fantasyland and Disneyland.
Isn't that great? I love the little things like that.
Yep.
And I'm really curious because I've been to, obviously I grew up going to Anaheim, and we visited Walt Disney World in Florida about a little over a year ago. I'm very curious to see the differences, the subtle differences in some of the rides, like Pirates of the Caribbean, or as they call it over here, the Phantom Manor.
Ooh. And of course, they're all going to be speaking French, right?
Right? Well, yeah. And I really want to hear on Indiana Jones, I want to hear Harrison Ford doing like, lay snakes. Why did it have to be lay snakes?
Yeah, and hopefully you'll be filming lots of that.
Oh, everything. You know it.
Awesome.
You know, even though we're filming everything, so we're going to have videos outside of just the picking. We're also going to have ones where we're just showing you the cruise down the Seine, or the treasures of the Louvre, or Disneyland Paris. So we've got a lot of content. We've got 7 core picking videos that you're going to see from Europe, but then also a bunch of additional content along the way. And we just can't wait to share all of it.
All right, we're going to do this as our final question to wrap it all up. What are the biggest differences between picking in France and picking in the US?
Volume, probably. There's just picking in Vegas. There's just so much. There's just so much here. As we were saying, we're limited to these markets, and although they're huge and big, it's not the same as being able to go to garage sales for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and just have so much volume on top of also, you know, the swap meets that are there.
And big difference in prices.
And prices, I think they're a little bit higher here. And again, like we were talking, because it's a big city, we don't know what it would be like to pick out in the countryside, or if you can even do that. We don't even know if they have sales and so forth. What we have seen is that a lot of these vendors do, you know, entire estate sales, and they bring it to these markets. So there may not be their version of garage sales here.
Yeah.
But I would just say that you have a lot more volume back in like Las Vegas or Santa Barbara, just in the States in general, and the prices are a little bit higher here.
So in those higher prices, are they still negotiable?
To a certain degree. You can't push them as hard. I know, you know, sometimes people think that I, you know, negotiate down, but we have to. For the volume that we do and producing these videos and everything, I have to get things at a good price to turn a decent profit, because this is a business.
And one of the videos that one of the articles that we read about this going into this is they said that they will not respect you, and they will actually be offended if you don't negotiate with them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
They start with a high price. They expect you to do the low price so that you can find that middle ground. It's part of the communication of picking here.
Right.
If they throw out a price and you don't necessarily like that price and you start to walk away, they'll chase you then and come down on their price.
That was funny.
That happens at the swap meet here. All the time.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And they take one look at you as, you know, an American, and they'll throw out, like William said, everything.
Was
those
5.
small pieces.
5 little tiny pieces.
Not the bigger stuff. You know, they'll say €5, and the minute you start to walk away, €3. It's like it's kind of funny. But when I said high prices, I meant on the bigger stuff. A lot of things that we couldn't even get home. The prices are really pretty high. The cost of living in Switzerland, if you go into a burger place, a hamburger's $18. I mean. And you know, not a bougie hamburger.
And that's fast food hamburger.
That's fast food. That's Burger King.
Yeah.
So the prices seem to be just a little bit higher across the board on things.
And also, we didn't actively seek out a Burger King. We were in the train station and we walked by, and I looked up at the menu and I went, $18 for a hamburger?
And that
I
was
don't know.
the-
It's getting close here. It's getting close.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun, and I recommend anybody to travel and to experience these things. And if you can't do that, just watch our videos. It'll be like being there.
So I have to ask, did you find any Italian glass?
Anyone?
Italian glass.
I don't think so.
This guy's from Portugal.
I thought so. I honestly, we didn't find any really, but I didn't try to seek it out. I tried to get as many French pieces as possible.
Gotcha.
I really wanted it to be from France. So
You're
that's
on-
why, Danny, we're all going to have to go to Italy and go to Murano.
There it is. There it is.
There it is.
All right, guys. Well, everybody's wishing you a safe journey home.
Thank
Can't
you.
wait to see all these goodies in person when you get here. And yeah, we'll be picking on Saturday again together. Wow. I've missed you.
That's the world we live in, that we're going to be back there on Saturday, before Saturday, we'll be back on Thursday.
We have so much to catch up on. So much.
Yes.
Well, we just want to say a huge thank you to Danny for having us on, for doing this and letting us share all of this with all of you. But like always, we love you, Danny.
I love you guys too. And I love all of you guys out there that hang out on a Monday with me. And we'll do it all again next week. So with that, go be profitable and
Make it fun. Make it lay fun.
Lay fun.